Warren Fiscal Court, Friday, August 21st, 2020 is now called to order. I want to welcome everyone who's here today and ask Esquire Doug Gorman to lead us in prayer and ask everyone to please stand and remain standing as he will lead us in the pledge of the flag.
Are you bow with me, Father? Thank you so much for this day, the day that you've made, and that you knew each and every decision before we even made it. Lord, we just ask for your grace and mercy upon this entire board. We ask for guidance for our national leaders, for our state leaders, and for our local leaders, and to watch over them. And I'd ask a special blessing upon all the citizens of Warren County, the greatest county in the United States, and to have this county be blessed as well as it always has been. Lord, I'd ask you to have our hearts be more like yours. Bless this time together. We ask all these things in your precious Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Let's face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Esquire Gorman. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Esquire Payne.
Here.
Esquire Young.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire Gorman.
All righty. Before we get started, now let's go ahead. We need to approve the minutes of the fiscal court meeting of August 7th, 2020. Does everyone have a motion? Esquire Cummings to approve, second by Esquire Payne. Discussion, questions, additions, or corrections? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes,
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we need to approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Item number 6 is to approve personnel changes for Warren County. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 7 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2036, establishing Weatherstone Boulevard, Centerstone Drive, Eaglestone Lane, and Seagraves Court, located in Weatherstone Subdivision Phase 2, as county roads, and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
All right. Item number 8 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2037, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Stewart Farm. Motion by Squire Cummings. Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Item number 9 is to approve the purchase of a 2020 Chevrolet Tahoe from Bachman Chevrolet at a cost of $37,931.48 for the Warren County Regional Jail. This is under state price contract, and this is paid for through the canteen funds.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, Yes, ma'am.
Item number 10 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2038, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Northridge Section 11. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 11 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2039, rezoning property located at 515 Perry Martin Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 4 acres and presently owned by Betsy Phillips Estate in care of Terry Perkins with Walter C. and Sharon K. Jenkins as the applicants. Motion by Squire Cummings. Second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 12 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2040 to approve zoning text amendments. Motion by Squire Young. Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions or anything that you need to explain, Ben? You're muted, I think.
Yes, I am. Thank you. You had a pretty detailed memo. Of course, we had videos, and we've had a ton of input, public input on this, but I'd be happy to go over anything or answer any questions anybody has.
Any questions from anyone? Call the roll.
Esquire Payne.
Squire Payne?
Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 13 is to approve the 2019 property tax settlement for property taxes collected by the Warren County Sheriff's Office for the 2019 tax collection year. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Did you have anything you'd like to share with us, Jessica? All right. There are no questions. Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 14 is to approve Order 2018 declaring surplus vehicles for the Warren County Sheriff's Department. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 15 is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $2,300.70 to Scott and Ritter for repair to the sewage pump at White Park. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Item number 16 is to approve order of allowance to the Board of Assessment Appeals in the amount of $600. Motion by Squire Payne, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions?
Yeah, I'm seeing the paper here, it Why is it 600? I was curious. I mean, what I'm seeing here has 3 names at $100 apiece.
Okay.
I was asking. Who can answer that?
$600, that's,
Okay.
Lynette, are you on here? Lynette or Bob Brandstetter? Either of you on?
It's all right. We can go on and vote with that. I'm just curious why.
That's okay. I want to make sure.
You want me to go down and get her?
I'm guessing that they had 2 days, but I'm getting ready to find out.
That's fine.
Is Ms. Yates or Mr. Brandstetter, either one on here?
Lynette is on, but
She's not listening.
Go ahead. We can vote.
We'll wait for her. Wait for her, Mr. Brandstetter.
They were in here 2 days.
She's listening, but no mic working. Great.
It's okay, Judge. We can move ahead. We can vote.
Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and find out. Pardon me? I can't understand you. Let me, probably Bob's the one. I think it's just, they probably met for 2 days. But let's go ahead and find out. I'm going to text with Lynette.
Hold on, so I got it.
They were in here 2 days.
Appeals here. Yeah, assessment appeal. Assessment. Anybody been getting any rain? A little bit.
Very little.
You know what? I'm paying a preacher. Well, yeah. Paying him well.
They get paid $100 a day, and this order just has the rate per day. It doesn't have, I'm assuming they met two days, but we'll get an answer here in a second and move on.
So they met for the second time, so we have submitted the second bill. Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
So they've met twice, and they've submitted the
Okay.
second bill, so that was what,
That's the answer then. That's what I thought, but it didn't
but yeah. our
spell it
paper-
out here.
Our paperwork, yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Any other questions then? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to just change that to that they met for 2 days. Their total compensation needs to be on there. Get for Lynette and make sure we're... Okay, next item is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $1,020.90 to Hagan and Stone for materials to complete stormwater repair at Hilldale Avenue. And this is paid for through stormwater management.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 18 is to approve order 2019 appointing viewers on closing Pinner Road located within Warren County.
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 19 is to approve first reading of ordinance 2041, establishing Taz Court as a county road, authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? This is the old Nashville Road loop. That's, you know where that is. All righty. No further questions or discussion. Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 20 is to accept lowest and best quote from Jim Johnson Collision in the amount of $2,227.02 to repair the 2018 Ford Transit wagon. This is the federal transport wagon, and this was involved in an accident in Nashville. There were 3 quotes received, and this was the lowest and best quote.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions?
We didn't lose any inmates, did
No. No. Thankfully. Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 21 is to approve the first reading of ordinance 2042, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Alvin Land Partners, LLC, a Kentucky limited liability company, as the developer and owner of Breckenridge Subdivision Phase 1.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 22 is to approve determination in the amount of $57,836.25 to Moorbark for an Eager Beaver 1821 wood chipper for the road department. This is through Sourcewell price contract. Pricing includes the trade-in of the 2 older chippers, totaling $20,000. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 23, approve determination in the amount of $4,412.59 to Dell for rack shelving, KVM port, and accessories and other various equipment for model courthouse network and public works server upgrades. This is all at state price contract.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 24 is to approve the determination in the amount of $1,787.42 to SHI. Want to make sure someone else put some other letters on there. For Microsoft Windows Server license, remote desktop services license, wireless access points, and other equipment for model courthouse network and public works service upgrade, the single source provider. Motion by Squire Gorman. Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Approved budget transfers for Warren County. Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 26 is to approve determination in the amount of $5,039.25 to Barron County Business Supply for additional office furniture for Public Works. This is at state price contract. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 27 is to approve a determination in the amount of $14,873 to Nashville Tent and Awning Company for the purchase of the walkway tent at the courthouse. This is due to COVID-19.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 28 is to approve change order for Aquarius Way storm sewer repair in the amount of $5,184 to Scott and Ritter, and this is paid for through Stormwater Management. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 29 is to approve the determination in the amount of $7,553.03, I guess, or is that 30 cents?
I don't know, I'd have to see the determination.
33 cents, okay. To Dude Solutions for Smart Gov Online Building and Electrical Permit Portal. This is a single source provider. Motion by Squire Gorman, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now to pay the bills, will the treasurer please present the claims to the court?
General Fund, $683,741. Road Fund, $80,645. Jail Fund, $353,708. And Stormwater Fund, $73,411. Be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion to pay the claims as submitted.
Motion to approve the claims as submitted by Squire Young, second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sheriff Hightower, are you on here?
He's out, Judge.
He's out today. Hello there. How are you doing, Kevin? You have anything you'd like to share with us today? All right. Thank you. Ms. Yates is here.
I'm sorry, I don't have my iPad today, so I didn't have a mic, I don't have a mic on my thing, but I do need to revisit the appeal. Can we do that real quick?
Yeah, but I already got a message from Bob. It was 2 days.
Well, that's what Bailey submitted, they only met one day.
Come over here to the
Then they
microphone.
met on Friday. So that was the second day. They're also going to be meeting on Monday because this was such a large appeal. It was for the Greenwood Mall property. So when they submitted everything on Friday, the PDA had to go back and reassess everything and look at all the paperwork that was submitted. So now they need to meet again, and they're meeting on Monday. So we're going to have 3 days that they will be paid, the $100 a day for the 3 gentlemen. So
Okay.
do we need to submit it differently for 900 now, or do we need to wait and do it another 300 later?
What we need to do, I mean, we need to go ahead and approve the amount for $100 a day,
Okay,
kind of the way you had it out there.
Okay.
And then depending on if all 3 of them show up on the 3rd day, which I expect they will.
Hopefully,
We'll
right.
pay them the full 900, but
Okay.
let's just approve the amount.
Right now, they're at 600.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. I'm glad you
I'm
explained it.
sorry, like I said, I was trying to text that, this is just,
It's okay. Otherwise, I would have had to wait another 2 weeks to pay them the other. So
okay.
I'm not sure who made that motion or who seconded it, but let's go ahead and
It was Payne and Gorman.
Payne and Gorman.
Gorman.
Okay, Squire Payne, Squire Gorman, is it okay that we alter that motion to, okay, so it's still good with you all? We're going to alter that motion to just read the $100 a day, and the most they're going to meet, if they all 3 come, will be 3 days. Right now, they've only met 2. Everybody understands that, right?
600 is up to $900.
Yeah, it could
Can
be
go
as
up
much
to
as
nine.
$900.
They should
Probably
have,
will.
I would think everything will be closed out on Monday. They've
Right.
had time
Okay.
to review all the documents.
Okay. Everyone understands that? Do we go ahead and let's call the roll again and make sure we're all good for the
Sorry.
record?
Esquire Payne. Esquire Young. Esquire Cummings. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence. Esquire Gorman.
Okay.
I want the stuff, so I thought,
Well, I was actually. Thank you. See, that's why do I even need a mic?
All right.
Thank you all very much.
All righty. Thank you. I appreciate you coming up. Yeah, you don't need a mic. If you just yelled out the window, we could have heard you.
Hey, Lynette, can we talk about the election?
The election, absolutely. We have some questions.
I have a constituent customer, constituent that's called me and wanted us to get Smiths Grove as a voting place. FYI.
Here's the deal.
Okay?
come over here.
Yeah, come over here to the microphone because it's hard enough to hear even if you're in the microphone.
With the elections, what we're doing, of course, yesterday, State Board of Elections met. On Friday, let me back up. The Governor, Secretary of State came up with the plan of how they want the election conducted. Yesterday, State Board of Elections met and have approved the order that the Governor and Secretary of State. It'll be very similar to what we did in the primary. You will have extended in-person absentee voting. We will have mail-in voting. That portal will be up again. And then on election day with expanded. Now, in the primary, they suggested we only had one polling location, have a super center. Well, and they're saying at this time, they are suggesting that we open more polling locations, but they're not saying open up to what you normally have, especially in the bigger counties. The plan that we are kind of working with right now, we will have, the information will be out about the portal, and the portal opens up on Monday. And it will close on October the 9th. Our in-person voting, which will be at SkyPack, we're going to open up a voting center there for absent or in-person voting.
In-person
Right.
advanced voting.
Our intention right now, the state has it where it can open on October the 13th. My intention is to open it on October the 1st.
Third? First.
I'm still getting approval on that.
Okay.
So hopefully, we will be able to open up that extra time. Then we will have at least 5, possibly 6
On election day.
polling locations, super centers on election day. I can tell you one will not be in Smiths Grove. It will be at Ephraim White Park. We're still restricted on a lot of these schools and churches and everything not wanting us in their buildings.
Yes.
So we have to go with a larger voting center, and that way we get more people in. It's more for that community, for the whole community versus a smaller area of the community. So we have right now, we have Fillmore Park, Ephraim White Park, Buchanan Park, Living Hope Church, and SkyPack. SkyPack will be a polling location on election day as well. I'm working on one more location, possibly 2, but we haven't been approved yet, so I don't want to put those out there until I get approval.
Okay.
But they will be vote centers, much like we had at Fillmore Park. It will be like, you won't have one set of election officers, you're going to have several. So it's going to be able to vote more people.
Okay. So what you're asking for from the governor's office or from the Secretary of State is approval on opening up? Pardon me?
I have to get that extra 2 weeks where the state's saying you open your voting on October the 13th.
Right.
I'm trying to get an extra 2 weeks in there.
Good.
And it depends on programming of our books, the e-poll books that you have to check the voters in. It depends on that programming, if they can get them to us in time. So there's a few factors there that we're trying to work out. Our intent, though, is to open that so you'll have a full month of being able to vote at SkyPack.
Right.
And
So
we'll have
it's
several
advanced
people,
voting.
it won't be like one single precinct in there as well. We'll have, or election officers, we're going to have probably 10 to 12 down there that you will be able to vote several people at one time.
Are you still looking for people to work the polls on?
We are getting a good response. The state has put out requests. Of course, the media is putting out requests everywhere. So we have had a very good response on trying to get people. But of course, these voting centers, you still have to have 40 to 50 people. If you're having large,
Yeah.
like we did out at Fillmore, we had to have a little over 50 people out there. So
Right.
it still requires a lot of people.
That worked amazingly well, but
It
but
did.
it was remote for a lot of people.
It
so-
was. It was great. And of course, the state is passing some laws on vote centers, so we'll see if that, and they will kind of take away some of the precincts, and you will have voting centers
Yeah.
to go to. Now that, like I said, that's still a work in progress. But for this election, that's what we're planning on doing.
Okay.
Will these volunteers need some training or?
Yes, absolutely. You have to have, there's a 2-hour minimum training that they have to go through. And of course, it's not really volunteers. They will be paid for this. So, we consider them election officers. But we are still looking, if they want to contact us or send emails, they can send me an email, lynette.yates@ky.gov. But, like I said, we're getting a very good response.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like Rex, I've gotten a lot of people in my district calling me about voting and so forth. And multiple people told me they would be willing to volunteer.
Right.
To make sure to have as many precincts open, as many centers open as possible. So, so I should just direct them to email you directly?
They can.
Okay.
They can. Because I know a lot of people try to call our office. We have 11 lines, and they are ringing constantly. Brenda can tell you that. She gets a lot of overflow calls up here that they can't get through to us, so it's always a better deal to just email me.
Judge, I'll say, Lynette, her whole office has done a fantastic job. I don't know if this is going to be the way it is going forward. I have no problem on the record saying I'd like to, I'm not definitely in favor of all this mail-in voting, but when you have the opportunity for 4.5 weeks before the election to drive down to SkyPack, show your ID, go through the process, there's no excuse to never, I've never had an excuse, and I don't think anyone else should too. It's a valuable right that we're given, but to be able to have that convenience at some point in that month and a half, you could be in Bowling Green to do it, other than Election Day. So there really is no, it takes care of all the absentee. But again, to think about going down October 2nd and just going through there and doing it and knowing your vote is counted for the general election is a great thing, and I appreciate all the hard work that Lynette and her team's done. It's upended that entire office, obviously. Every office in 120 counties and throughout the whole country, but they've handled it admirably, and just I want to thank you, Lynette, for all the hard work.
That extended in-person that the executive order has allowed us, that has helped a lot. And we would probably, there's always been that absentee in-person factor, but you're restricted to age, disability, being out of town on election day. But opening up now because of the situation, because of the virus, that it's going to help, I think, tremendously. And it will cut down on a lot of the wait, I think, on the post office. So we'll see.
I hope they allow that open in all future elections too. It would just be so helpful to.
I'd say a
so
lot of
many people.
legislatures are they're gonna kind of look into
Obviously,
it.
the question I would have would be make sure that checks and balances, I'm sure, in place to those who come down in person and vote, and then they mail and vote in too, just that doesn't get counted twice.
No, you can't do it. They only check into the system once, and that's the only way. When you check into that system, it's related whether it's mail-in. If someone has requested a ballot and they go to show up at a poll, it shows up automatically that they've already requested a ballot. And until our office shows that that ballot has not been received, we can't cancel it, so they wouldn't be allowed to vote.
Okay.
There are several checks and balances.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that with Kentucky. I won't say that with all states, but Kentucky, we have several. It's in my mind very safe.
In our last election, you felt like that we had pretty much 100% good voting and no fraudulent activity at all that took place in the.
I do. We
I
had
do
one
too.
situation that was turned over to the grand jury that was a little questionable, but we did, the votes, it was
Out of
not-
how many votes was there, by the way, in the last election?
Oh, gosh, you're gonna really get me on.
You can just get
It
close.
was 29, we had 29%. We have 84,000 registered voters, so we were right at 29%. I will
Wait.
say, in the last election, the last presidential election, we were at 60%. So I look for us to be at least that again.
I say it'll be higher, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's the highest primary turnout I can
Yeah,
remember ever.
it was very, yeah, it was very good. We had a great turnout in Warren County.
For mail-in vote, people that want to do the mail-in, they
They
have to
can still.
request it.
That portal opens on Monday. It is govoteky.com, and they'll be able to request it. Just if anyone did in the spring, it's the same deal. You'll be able to request it the exact same way. We will not receive ballots though from the state, from our state vendor, until the middle of September. So even if you request right now, your request will sit out there until we get the ballots on September the 14th to mail out. And the state said it could be, depending on the vendor and some of the the guidelines they've been put under this time, it may be, the week after, but ballots will go out at least the third week of September.
I'll echo Doug's comments about the amazing job you and your staff are doing, and this is, my opinion, the most important duty that we perform for
It
Warren
is for
County.
that's what we're considering. It's the
Fair-
most important thing
Fair
we
and
do.
equal voting opportunity, that's what it's important that we do that.
Absolutely.
What was that website again?
GoVoteKY.com.
Or .gov,
.com,
.com?
yes. And that's by the State Board of Elections has that website.
Can a new resident, register there?
Yes, that's also where you can register to vote. You can also go to electky.gov and register to vote. There are two state websites. One is Secretary of State, one is State Board of Elections, but they both tie into the same thing. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Ms. Yates?
She can call her and answer.
Yeah, just yell down and I'll yell back up for you on anything you might need.
All right. Thank you, Lynette.
Sorry, thank you all.
Thanks for coming up. Jailer Harmon, are you on here? Jailer Harmon. I believe he's not? Okay. All righty. Mr. Comer.
Hey, Judge. Parks are doing well. We're working on getting our fall sports programs back online with limited capacity. We would ask the public to be patient with us in that process. We feel confident we'll be able to offer fall sports, but it's going to look a little bit different. And here within the next 5 to 10 days, our fall baseball, softball, volleyball, inline hockey programs will begin, and then the Warren County Youth Football League is currently reviewing what they're going to be doing for the fall. So that's still kind of yet undetermined, but we'll keep everybody updated as we proceed forward, and everybody stay safe and healthy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Chris. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Young on here? No? Mr. Pearson?
Thank you, Judge. Still monitoring the situation, but that's where we're at.
All right. All righty. I know you're busy as can be. Mr. Branstetter, are you on here?
You better not be now.
All right. Mr. Appling? Bob Appling?
Bob is not on.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kohler? Nikki? You have anything? Nothing? Okay. All right. Mr. Peterson?
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks for being with us. Is Mr. Lackey on?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Markram?
Thank you, Judge. Just a quick update on our set time of clock. A special thanks to Cooper at the jail for painting the clock. We got it all painted, ready to go. We're waiting on the lenses to go on the outside. Told us it'd probably be a couple more weeks before we got them. But once we get those, we're ready to put the insides back in the clock and turn it on.
All righty. Can't wait to see it functioning again. It's been a couple of years since they've actually had it working.
It has. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is Chief Hamilton on here? Jason Duckett, Russell Justice. Oh, okay. All righty.
Keith Lockhart's the only.
Oh, Keith, how are you? Do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
The Allison and Smith Grove food trucks are here in Warren County. Ours at Browning and Richardsville are expected to deliver, I think it's the first week of September. So after that, then all four of the new trucks will be here.
Well, which one's
It's a matter of
Smith Grove's already here, and who else?
Allison.
Alton. Okay, cool.
And then after they're here, just be a matter of getting them together and getting them in service. That's pretty much all for that. And as far as us Browning, our addition is moving on. They're still coming, all of our steel come in Tuesday, and it's all up. And they were planning on putting the roofs on today, but weather had another decision for them.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll slow down, I hope. Thank you so much, Keith. Appreciate it. Okay. Squire Payne, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Judge, I just wish Marie and her sister a speedy recovery. Well, we miss her. She's in our prayers.
We do miss Marie, and I understand she's recovering well. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks, though, before she comes back, but you're right, we sure miss her. I hope she's doing well, and as well as her sister. I hope her sister is not quite as well as Marie is right now, but she is recovering well. Marie is, and I'm hoping that Margaret does as well. Certainly, they're both in our prayers.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
Move the microphone.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Squire Lawrence.
I'd just like to say it's really good to see everybody. You don't run into as many people as you used to, and it's always good to see some people face to face nowadays. And Marie and her sister have been in my thoughts and prayers for the last little bit over a week, and I'm worried about her, but I'm sure she'll be all right.
Thank you. She's pretty tough. Mm-hmm. Squire Gorman.
Thank you, Judge. I just I want to give a special thanks to two people and all the people that work with them, but Superintendent Rob Clayton and Superintendent Gary Fields, an unbelievable amount of preparation, planning, months and months and months to do things that are in the best interest of our students. I personally feel like they need to be back in some situation to return to that, and also I will just tell you that child abuse numbers are way down, and they're way down because one of the things that no one really thinks about is the people that report most of that child abuse are teachers. And so that doesn't mean it's not happening. It's unfortunately still happening. It's a crisis in our country, and I just think for the safety of our children, these are things that we have to have a discussion about. It's hard things that people don't want to talk about, but these are things that need to be discussed. I just appreciate the leadership of both of our school boards about what they're doing to try to not only educate but protect the children in this community. And then finally, I'd like to thank the treasurer for stitching these masks. Greg, thank you. It's very, very nice of you to do.
Squire Cummings, you have anything you should?
I have a few, please, if I may. First of all, I want to wish a belated birthday to your lovely wife.
Yeah.
I'm sure she did well. I'm sure you did something very nice for her. So. I also want to congratulate, our last meeting, we left here and we had a major announcement about one of our magistrates had a successful sale of a business. And I want to publicly congratulate him. You think he could have shared it with us here that morning, but he didn't, and that's okay. I respect that. But the most important thing that's going to come from that is that these abstains will be eliminated now, and I'm anxious to, all these abstains that have happened over the years, that will go away, and very thankful for that part of it. The other part, I noticed just recently, the Warren County Gov site published, or put back out the video that was done with wear your mask, and it was well done, and I'm just curious why myself and Gorman and Squire Payne weren't in it, and you know, I thought that everybody else did a good job. Y'all looked good, especially the ones that had their mask on, looked really good. But it was well done video, and encouraging people to wear the mask. It was done.
They pick the best.
For those who have not, yesterday I participated in 4.5 hours of online training so those, I know with all the cancellations of in-person stuff, I obviously encourage all the rest, everybody else, and we get our 40 hours of training in, but it was well done yesterday. Saw the top of Gorman's head most of the day, but it was good. And then the last thing I have is, if all holds true, October 3rd, we're going to be having our second World War II Operation Anvil battle out at Fillmore Park. Plans are being done again. It's full force, as long as the governor doesn't do anything crazy and shut it down.
Yeah.
It'll be bigger this year. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I will, that you did an excellent job last year at our honoring our veterans ceremony. I hope you come back out and participate with us this year. That was the best part of the whole event, even though the two battles were great. You know, the reason we're doing this is honoring the heroes, honoring our veterans, and I hope you're able to participate again this year with us, Judge.
I'm planning to be there.
Going to be bigger this year because we have got commitment of 3 German tanks coming this year.
Wow.
To the event. We've had almost 100 reenactors already signed up to be there. It'll be a huge event if we're able to pull it off. So you'll hear more from me as we get closer, but put on your calendar October 3rd. It's going to be a well done event out here for Bowling Green out at Fillmore Park.
I look forward to being there. Squire Young?
Just want to shout out if Marie's watching, we miss her. We keep all those in our prayers. I know it's hard for everyone battling this thing. And if people would do what they're asked to do, the governor wouldn't have to do all these things. Do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're right. And if people would just wear a mask and social distance, not have big parties at their homes or cookouts with everybody they know, we can actually get back to normal, and with the exception of staying distanced and keep your mask on. We should be able to get all of our businesses back open, and we should be able to send our kids to school safely, and we should be able to restore our economy and rebuild our businesses. It really is a matter of choice. You either want to keep everyone safe, or you choose not to wear a mask. And that's just up to everyone individually, but it's not just, you're not making a decision for you, you're making a decision to protect the people you are around and to protect our businesses and our economy and our children in school. So I hope everyone will continue to wear masks. I really feel good about the numbers of people who are doing it now that weren't doing it before. But we need 100% of the people doing it for it to be totally effective. Squire McWhorter.
I would like to thank all of our department heads. I know Jerry Young, our county road department, has been working very, very hard to trim limbs and put potholes. And I called him one day, and that same day, probably in a couple hours, he had a pothole filled. I respect what he does and everyone else, what they do. And we lost a good citizen, Steve Morrison, this week. Prayers to his family. He was a great, great guy. And also, Marie, we love you, and we want you back quickly. And Brenda really wants you back.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. I miss her terribly.
I'm sure.
Ms. Meredith, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
No, sir, it's been a pleasure to be here this morning.
Glad to have you here. Mr. Burrell?
Thanks, Judge.
Ms. Hale?
Thank you, sir.
Is any other business to be brought before this body?
Move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions?
Next meeting.